Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'd love to share the trades I took today with you. So I'm currently on my journey to financial freedom through trading small caps. That is the series. I believe it's day 7, but don't quote me on that. Look at the title. So far, it's been going well. I've been learning a lot. I'm not profitable, as you can see. Here are my metrics. So let's look at my calendar. So we had no trade day on Thursday, no trade day Tuesday and Wednesday. We did have trades on Monday, which were good trades. I didn't size quite correctly. So that's fine. They weren't bad trades. I'm happy I took them. And then the month of June, I only had 4 green days. Most of the days were red, but I made a ton of progress building my system. And within this period, I basically just had the jitters because the market was hot and I was just trying to jump in everything, and I was kind of undisciplined. I didn't really have a very strict strategy, and I started to develop that through here, and you can see that while my strategy has led to 3 no trade days, that I probably would have taken trades if they were days in June, because I only had 1 or 2 no trade days, but anyways, because I followed my rules these days. I think here I might have missed a trade, and that's why it's a B. But anyways, today, let's go through my journal. I actually believe today was a B grade. So coming in, my pre-market plan was to take the micro pullback if there is one. I missed them today. So I did not take the micro pullback today. I didn't quite follow my pre-market plan. But I did take the bull flag setups, not the micro pullbacks. I didn't follow my exit rules on the first trade, which you'll see. I did the exit well on the second and did a good job scaling out, following my rules. I need to set up a hotkey to sell in the ask and to say stop loss and take profit out loud during or before the trade. So those are my goals for tomorrow. The most important one is say stop loss and take profit out loud tomorrow. I believe that'll help me a lot because you'll see on my first trade, it was a good trade. I just sold it too quick because I was scared. So let's look into those trades on the charts first, and then we'll pull up the live recordings. So VRAX is the stock of the day. You can see it popped up here right at 7:30. It had news. The news didn't populate, you'll see, until like 7:35 or something for me. So if I was able to read the news on it, maybe I would have taken this trade here. I'm not sure. This is the micro pullback setup I'm looking for. Still, it was risky. The spread was kind of high. There's things that I will review and watch for that. But that's a micro pullback setup. This would also be considered a micro pullback setup, but it didn't really pull away. So if anyone knows how to get rid of these, can you please let me know, because these are really annoying me. I have to remove them all the time. I'm not sure why. But anyways, so we can see in here, there's just this funky consolidation for quite a while. And then it gives a pop-up. So that was right here. That was this consolidation here. I could have taken that trade maybe. I didn't. But that might have been a good trade to take. It was just consolidating, a little weird. But the trades I did take, we could see the first one was at 6:35, which would be 7:35 market time. So that was right in, it was on the 1 minute. So that was this first 1 minute bull flag pattern. So I got in looking for the break of this candle here. I just the spread. Got a little bit of bad fill here. And then as it pulled back, I cut it and scaled out, which was not, not really good at all. I didn't follow my rules. This should have been my stop, and I should have let it go all the way down to my stop. Now, we'll watch this live recording. A couple things I could have done better on this. The sizing was off. I accidentally pressed my hotkey of size for 20 cents of risk, which is 5 shares right now, rather than size for 50 cents of risk. Since this was around 50 cents of risk, I should have used that hotkey instead. So you can see it pops up. I got in here looking for the squeeze back up, pulls back. I kind of sell down in this area here, and then it pops up. And ideally my strategy would have been scale out one here around 750, and then scale out another at the next half or whole dollar, and then wait for maybe I'd scale out here. If I'm doing it on the 10-second micro pullback, I scale out whenever it closes below the 9 EMA. But that could be a little bit too much risk here. I'm not sure, because that would get me out right around here. So I don't know. I could have done better on that. I'll watch the film back. I drew this little trend line. It broke and held, but there wasn't really an entry in here that was very clean. So you see, like if I get in here, that's just too much risk for the reward, which is high day. That's just not reasonable. And then here, MACD is negative. It goes below quite a bit. Maybe there's some people that can trade that, but I just didn't find that to be a good trade. Kind of consolidates, unwinds. Then we get pop here. So let's see, 855. Yeah, no, this is where I took a trade. So I got in right here for the break of this candle. Got filled a little high at 72, right? So right around here. My stop would have been down here, so 50 cents of risk was the hotkey I used. Just fair, And then comes up, I scale out into the high day. I got a really bad fill on it, and then I scaled out the next whole dollar. If I were in a position of 5 instead, I would have still had a share or two that would have tried to sell up at 12. But yeah, so those are my trades, short and simple. Now we can watch the film of them, the live trading archives. So this video is going to be kind of long, just warning, because we are going to watch this. Yeah, this isn't the recording I wanted. Why did that one pop up? Okay, so this is the recording I want. We're going to skip ahead quite a bit. So basically just had some other stocks pop up. Most of them weren't set up so it takes. So soon, it's below high day. You have resistance. The news isn't very good. PMA also below VWAP, soon. And then we have VRAX pop up. So this is, let's watch this at 5:15. I'm just gonna let y'all listen to it. So VRAX will pop up on my high day momentum. I'll pull it up. I'm not sure. I think I might have been muted here. If I was, I'll talk through my process. I'm gonna mouse over here. Oh. Okay. So VRAX pops up. I'm watching it. I'm doing my checks. I see the relative volume is low right now. So I'm giving it a second to, do that. I didn't see news on it, so my news hadn't populated yet. You can see that on the left. So then the micro pullback happens there. And let's reset this a little bit for you guys. Let's rewind just a tad. So right here is kind of the micro pullback I'm set up. I'm looking for this to be the first micro pullback. So the stock goes up, you know, from 3 to 4. So that's a 33% move, right? It pulls back. So it's still not up a lot on the day, but since nothing else is really obvious, all the attention's on this one. So we have this candle here. The high is around 361. We're waiting for it to close, so we have 2 seconds. Okay, so once it closes, now this would be an entry with the stop at the low of the pullback, just in a normal micro pullback. So we'd try to enter here. You would look for 361 on the ask. So right there is where you'd get in, right? And then you're looking for the high day of 4. So your profit target there, scale up there at 4. And then you're looking for 450 next half roll dollar, scale out there. Wow, it's just popping through that. See if we can get 5, scale out there maybe. So that's kind of the process that I would have taken, but I didn't see news on it. The relative volume wasn't high enough. The daily relative volume wasn't high enough yet. The spread was big. You can rewatch that part. The spread was pretty big on it. So I don't know. I'll review it and see if this is something I can learn from. Maybe take that trade next time. But I just didn't have the confidence to take it really. So now we're here. Boom, that pull back a little bit. So 7:30 is a time when news comes out. At, you know, the full hour, half hour is when news comes out. So I should have really expected it to have news maybe. You also see a reverse split on the daily chart. That's a strong indicator. Recent reverse split here. So I don't know. Maybe I could have gone in earlier, but oh well. So here, I didn't take this trade because the profit target of high day just did not really fit the risk. So you're getting 50 cents of risk right here, at least. The spread was bigger too, for less than 50 cents. So that's not even a 1-to-1. So I didn't take that. I was, that's not worth it. The expected value of this trade is just not worth it to take. So I'm glad I stayed out of that one. So now we have the 1 minute candle open and it's a tweezer top, which means that it opened, it popped up here, and now it's rejecting off here. So this is clear resistance at the high day, very clear resistance. So now, maybe it can break through and squeeze up, but I'm really looking for a 1 minute setup now. What was my thought process there? So there it breaks through a bit. Maybe that's a trade that I should be taking, but initially I thought the risk was too high on it. I have not proven to do well buying into high a day like that. So eventually I would like to add that to my tool belt, but not yet. I'd rather be a master of the micro pullback in the bull flag first, and then add that later after I can already prove profitable through bull flag micro pullback. So now we have this huge rejection off around 725. So now I'm really looking for a 1 minute pullback. With this is just a very bearish sign. You can see it here too. So I would like for it to pull all the way back near the 9 EMA on the 1 minute, and then you give a candle over candle, and then I'll enter there. So We're just going to be patient and wait for this to set up. So this candle is 3 seconds left. Okay, closed red. I can't enter if it breaks because it's too far extended. There's a huge topping tail. So I'm going to wait for it to pull back. Now, just immediately, this is giving a pretty light pullback. Sorry. This is giving a pretty light pullback, which is good. Light selling volume there, that's a good indicator. MACD is still open, it's above VWAP, above the 9 EMA. So far so good, right? And for these micro pullback bull flag setups, you don't want it to slam down like it did here. Like this is not a very good sign. Even though the volume was a little lighter, this is just a little too sharp of a pullback. But here, I mean, you can see the topping tail. That is not a good sign. But since these red candles are consolidating so well, it means you can manage your risk better once you enter. And I'll show you how that plays out for me. So we're still waiting, we're still watching here. See if we can break that about 601. Yep, right there. That'd be an entry. And I got in at 614. So I think I got in just a little bit late. Whether I just hesitated to press my hotkey or is the spread, I'm not entirely positive. It could have been a mix of both. So you see right here. So we're looking for around 601, maybe 602 on the ask up here. You know, and then it immediately goes up to, what's this? So we're looking for 601, maybe 602. There, boom, it's at 610. So I'm gonna get filled high. So it was probably just because it was moving fast to spread. So my stop should be here. My first profit target is the high day around 725. So that would be 614 there. My stop would be around 60 cents of risk right here. My first profit target would be $1.3 per share. So that's a 2-to-1. That's over a 2-to-1 risk to reward. So that's great. For first profit target, 2-to-1 risk to reward is ideal. I mean, that's great. You know, and all the attention on this is on this one. Is the first micro pullback. This is a great setup. Or first bull flag, 1 minute pullback. This is a great setup. So now it has some resistance. Showing that resistance there, and I got scared and you could see that I saw. All that is fear. It didn't hit my stop, so I didn't follow my rules. It was just fear. And then I cut the rest. So I was just scared that this was going to reverse hard on me. That's really bad trading. You know, I should have really followed my rules. Also, I was a little bit scared because, let's mute this. I was a little bit scared because I was in 5 shares, which should be my hotkey for 20 cents of risk, but really this was a 50 cents of risk trade, and I should have only been in 2 shares. So, but I mean, what are you gonna do? You know, if you're in, no matter what the size is, just manage the position like you should. That's something I need to remind myself of. Just manage the position like you should. So I'm talking here, you know, there's a micro pullback there. That was pretty clean. Maybe I should have got in there. You know, I'll do some deep review of the film and see. So this isn't showing like a ton of weakness because it's still consolidating, but you know, if it was super strong, it would probably just pop right here. Like where I got in, it would probably pop pretty immediately. So this right here is going to form an ABCD pattern, which is something I need to study more. You know, it's kind of simple when it comes down to it, but I'll show you what I did wrong and what I believe I could have done better. So there's resistance right around here, around 625. So I'm just analyzing this micro pullback now pretty much. And so I broke 625, it's up at 650. 650, it's holding 650. See if we can pop up to 7. So high day right now is around 7. Sorry my chart isn't autoed. I don't know why exactly. But yeah, so it's consolidating a little bit, but it never hit my stop down here. I should still be in at 19, 614. I should still be in at 614. There's a pop. Then you scale out into that 750 and it just crushes it. It just breaks all the way through. For next whole dollar at 8. There's 8. Can we get a squeeze up to 9? It broke 8. See, it's holding up there. So, let's see if we can get some extra legs behind it. It's still stalling out there at 8. Breaking down a bit, see if we can get it pop back up. So, yeah, I'm just gonna let this play out a little bit. So let's rewind. So I had some commentary here, but first off, let's just analyze this. I was in at 614. My stop was around 545 or so, I believe. It was right around there. Profit target was up here. It was a 2-to-1 profit target. I was scared. I cut it early. This is what an ABCD pattern looks like. So you get the A, B, C, and then D. So the A is the first pullback. The B is whenever the bull flag basically forms. So I got in here on the B looking for a squeeze up. It didn't quite give that. It pulled back a little bit. That was the C. But since it bottomed out higher than my stop would have been, that's a great sign. So then the D is this leg up. So, what can happen, I think, is that, pops up, bull flag. Some people enter here. It shows weakness. Shorts enter here. And then people buy it back up. Shorts cover here. You get a squeeze. So, yeah, I should have held here. I should have respected my stop and my take profit. And ideally, you'll see, hopefully I do this tomorrow if I take a trade. My stop will be here. You know, I can't hard set a stop, unfortunately, in pre-market. And then I will scale out here. I'll set a profit target on the ask here tomorrow, hopefully. So yeah, so let's listen to my commentary here. It'll probably be pretty simple. 23:45. Sorry, this video is gonna be long, but I need it to review my own trade. So huge pop there. Come on. Wow.
BFCS.
We're coming right up to 927. See if we get my block here. I'll take it with the 2 shares. I missed it. It was too quick. Huge topping tail.
I was thinking of lighting it when you took
Hands off. You went for 1 minute.
NBVE.
I really wish it was easier to see the high of the previous candle. You know, I can't wait to do it, but I'm gonna adjust this chart in just a minute.
Whenever it was like 7:30 or 7:40. Yeah, I didn't make this prep.
So I'm not sure if my commentary here is actually going to be helpful. One thing you'll see in the next clip I changed. So I just altered this chart a little bit to be more visible, more easily visible. Because I can't click in here and use my hotkeys for my broker platform. I can click here and kind of look at the chart here.
Follow my rules.
Yeah, I just need to follow my rules.
This would have been a winner if I followed my rules. You know,
It's about to push it in.
just accept that this is when it breaks. It's a good trade until this breaks. So, even if you have to hold it through in a while. So if I caught this pop, I don't know if I was skilled out here or here.
So yeah, I mean, I'm really quiet there. I don't know if you can even hear me, but it's really what I just said. I should have followed my rules. I should have respected my stop. I should have held through that very small drawdown. I mean, there's an ABCD pattern forming. I need to study that a little bit more. So that was my first trade. I'm not sure if there's anything else here really. So you can see bull flag forming here. No, my other trades in the next video. But really, you see just consolidation. Nothing's happening. This is where I entered. This is the second bull flag leg. It's consolidating, which is good because it's still holding up. But it's not giving that, like, those waves, really. It's kind of just flat. So, that's that video. That's all she wrote. I think this is the last video. Yep. So let's see. So we are gonna skip through this part. This is a stock. It didn't give me a setup. It's below VWAP. I was looking for the micro pullback there. It just didn't happen. I think Ross took a loss on this one. Then we're back on VRAX. So I drew a little trend line here. It did break, but there wasn't any entries here. Nothing that commanded risk. I think I talked about that earlier. Some other things pop in. Just looking at stuff. Yeah, and then that one's too cheap. Okay, so now let's watch this and unmute it. So we're watching RKTO. I don't know why, honestly. It was the only thing going up. I think that's why. I really should have been watching VRAC still because it was the top leading gainer and something that met my criteria. But you see, I get that high day momentum alert on VRAX. I pull it up. This is interesting. So we're getting a little squeeze here.
Ross was trying to get earlier.
Yeah, she was trying to squeeze out.
So you get a squeeze there. Yeah. I actually need to mute this part. Never mind. Copyright issues. I think. Just listening to music. Anyways, so we get this pop up. You know, it broke that resistance at around 925. Once again, that gray thing pops up, which I think is the alert. Maybe, I don't know. Those are annoying. If anyone knows how to get rid of them, let me know. So watching for a micro pullback here, but it doesn't really pull back. See how it's consolidating. There's still green candles. Ideally, we want to see that red candles. You get a little squeeze. It doesn't really work. Volume is still low. So it needs a proper pullback. Really, it's kind of what I'm saying and thinking here. So you see that candle, it's easier to see here. See that candle on the 1 minute closes, volume's low. That's not really a strong candle. That means that we need a pullback. So wait for a proper pullback here. Waiting for a bull flag to form. So if you are interested in it, I'm just going to pull up a shameless plug real quick. This is my day trading live journal. Basically just explains my strategy, explains things to understand market sentiment and personal sentiment. Honestly, the market sentiment scored really low today, and that honestly might have hurt my decision making a little bit. So I'm not sure. I think it's still helpful because if you have a tendency to go big, it'll help you know when to not go big. But then we have float price. Basically beware of Israel, Singapore, and China stocks just because they are very often pop and drops. I'd say for a beginner, don't trade them. Unless you're extraordinarily small size and you're just building metrics. The news volume, relative volume, kept up, obvious spread. So these are things that you should look at before a trade. You don't really need to check it every time. I think as a beginner, it's helpful to check it every time. But if you're trading micro pullbacks, you can't just mentally do it. Then above VWAP, break a previous resistance, at least one red candle, red volume is less than green, near 9 EMA, less than 50% retracement, entry is the candle over candle, stop is the low of the pullback. The first take profit is at high day, the next take profit is at the next half or whole dollar, then you sell all when it closes below the 9 EMA, at the very least. See how shameless plug there, it's free, you can check it out in the description. There we go. Okay, so boom, this bull flag is forming. You can see it doesn't give an entry of breaking the previous candle. It's forming, we're still waiting on it, but we're ready. Hands on the hotkeys, we're ready. So right now our entry would be right here. The high is 965. So that's where I have my cursor right here, 965, just about. That'd be the entry. You see the light volume, That's beautiful. It's above VWAP, above the 9 EMA. You broke the previous resistance. Hopefully it's going to be less than a 50% retracement of this move. Looks like it. It's consolidating nicely. It's not just going down super harsh. So now you're looking at the entry here, 965. Let's see if we get it. Ready, hands on the hotkeys. That would be our entry. The stop would be the low of the pullback. First profit target would be the high day. That would be a good risk to reward, I think. That would be about a 1-to-1 risk to reward. Yeah. So, boom. It broke there. There we go. I got in kind of late. I got in eventually. So I think I was looking here when I should have been looking there. Or there. Anyways, risks down here. First profit target right here. So I'll just let this play out, and then I'll talk. Oh, sorry about that. I should unmute and then go back just a second. So we're watching here. Bull flag, candle over candle. I mean, you already saw it, but it's consolidating nice. It's not pulling back too harsh. All the checks are good. So 965, we're watching for an entry. Watching for 965. Yep, entry at 965. Let's watch it. Should have said my stop out loud before. Oops. If I were to end it there, but yeah. So we'll see what happens. It's pretty close to the 9 EMA.
It's nice.
It's very controlled. So let's see. That's the entry. King in there, 965. Risking off around 940, I believe. So then we should be scaling out the high day.
Off 970 if you got in at a good price.
So, boom, there's a huge pop. And I sell and I get a horrible fill. Look at that. You got a horrible fill on that.
Bro, what? I tried to sell into that. I was quick and I got filled at 9.7.
So that's the spread, and it's also just a quick move. What I'm going to do tomorrow to change that, I just set up my sell on the ask hotkeys. I would put my first sell on the ask order right at the high day. So I have them as hotkeys to 20 cents above the ask, or 50 cents above the ask. If anybody's interested, I'll just explain that really quick, how that works. The price right here is 9.98. If I were to press the hotkey to sell 20 cents above the ask, it would sell at 10.18, and then my shares would be up there, and then somebody can go buy them, and that'd be the price moving up. So I want to do that next time at the high day. So trailing my stop, having a stop right here right now would be unreasonable. I don't want to lose all that profit. Still holding. There's 1050. It's holding 1050. See if I can get up to 11.
So I'm exercising controlling.
There's 11. It's holding 11. I don't really know. You know. Scale out's fine. It's not perfect because it was holding 11. So I probably should have looked for 11.50.
$1.40 a share.
But anyways, I'm not going to complain about $1.40 a share. That's amazing. And then it tops right at 12. See how it just hit 12 and rejected? So ideally, if I had more shares, I would, you know, scale out, basically selling on the ask.
Sold a little early, but that's okay.
Yep, it's fine.
You know,
That was a great trade.
You think $1 a share?
Yeah, $1.40 a share on one share.
So it's nice. Part of me, like, I don't know.
I need to set up a hotkey to sell on the ask.
Yeah, we did that.
Yeah, I deleted mine and I'm realizing how good they are.
Yeah.
So how much did Ross made on that Hop?
I think about 52. And something small.
So, anyways, I'm just gonna mute this, let it play out. So yeah, that was a nice bull flag pattern. You can see it right there. That's beautiful. I got in at the right spot. I scaled out pretty well. Next time I'll use the selling on the ask hotkeys, because that'll give me better fills. But yeah, I mean, can't complain about it, right? It's a good win. Let's see. I'm not sure what other helpful commentary I can give, really. Oh yeah, so something that is more advanced that I need to master this first, but the opportunity in this pattern is so huge. You know, I like the idea of scaling out on the ask for now or scaling out a high day for now, because it shows, or you can still get a profit. Like if it were to, it would maybe double tap here and then go all the way back down. At least it's going to be break even when it goes all the way back down. But you know, also you could swing for the fences and say your profit target's all the way up here, and you might get sometimes. So as I build my metrics, I might change the strategy a little bit. Obviously super small share size. I might only scale out 25% at high day rather than 50%, which is what I'm doing right now. And then I'll scale out half into the different pops, or maybe 25% at $50, 50% whole dollars, something like that. We'll figure that out as we go. But one thing that I know Ross does really well that I would like to learn in the future, this is very advanced, is you'll get this pop up, this bull flag, and then it'll break high day, and then he'll add back here. So he'll scale out here, he'll pull back maybe a little bit, and then he'll break high day, and then he'll add back, looking for the squeeze up. It's harder to manage risk that way, I've found. Something I'm very interested in studying now. So those were my trades for the day. I know this was a longer video, but mostly that's for me so I can review it. But hopefully if you guys stayed all the way to the end, you're getting some good benefit of it. If you want to check out our community on Whop, check it out. It's Day Traders Hangout. The link is in my description. It's a great community. There's a bunch of free resources in there. There's a free learning library in there. Also, if you just check the playlists that I've created, I have some public playlists that contain a lot of great YouTube learning videos for beginners, and really kind of a step-by-step track to learning day trading the right way. I'm not profitable, so take my words with a grain of salt, but I have a system and I have a lot of confidence in my system. And I think as I build my metrics, we'll see me become profitable. I really do believe that. So thank you guys for tuning in so much. As always, day trading is risky. So manage your risk in a simulator before ever putting real money on the line. Have a clear strategy. And thanks for checking out my channel. I will see you guys tomorrow.